Good afternoon, evening, whatever it is, where you is. I know some people are probably like, what in time in the world is it anymore? Because this daylight savings crap, I don't even know anymore. Welcome back to 4K for you. How's everybody doing out there? It's been a tick, but we're back. How's Greg doing tonight?
I'm doing good. Glad to be here with both of you guys tonight, talking some physical media releases and relaxing with no kids tonight. So
Maxing and relaxing.
maxing and relaxing.
Here's another Southern gentleman I know who is always maxing and relaxing, even when he's busy and buzzing. Mr. Valliant Renegade, how you doing?
Doing good. Good to be back here. Live at 6 on a Wednesday, guys. It's been a few, like you said, but good to be here. Man, there's some stuff that came out. Good stuff to talk about today.
Some good stuff. And did we ever cover the whole Rocky shenanigans? I know we started it, but did we ever finish it? I'm trying to remember.
I think I seem to remember having that discussion because I remember last time we
Okay.
were asking that. I had not gotten them yet. So
Yeah,
I
still
remember
no
having
word
that
from Warner.
conversation. Yeah.
Still no word from Warner, but they are like every day bringing down the price of the box set like by $5.
Yeah, I heard that Best Buy pulled the box set from their
Interesting.
website.
If you go to Amazon, like every day it's been going down like by $5. Now it was down to like $45 last time I saw. So that tells me they're trying to get rid of what they got. Then they're going to do the new ones and only by people who actually say anything. So for those who may not know what we're talking about, real quick, there's a few minor issues with all of the Rocky movies. And most of them have to do with the soundtrack being out of pitch. So in a lot of cases, it's the foreign language tracks. But on Rocky 2, it's all of them. On the first Rocky, this is one that's probably going to bother the least amount of people. If you're somebody who wanted the original mono track from the theatrical edition, it is a full down of the 5.1 mix. So unless you're going to watch it in mono, that one doesn't matter. Rocky 4, a very minor issue, and I think one of the maybe one of the audio tracks is out of pitch, but maybe that wasn't the one. The only problem with Rocky 4, that's the other one I don't see him fixing, is one shot goes from 185 to 178. So you can't even tell unless you're looking at the top and the bottom of your screen. And I'm willing to bet some people won't be able to tell because they have overscan on and don't know it.
Yeah.
So Valliant probably knows what I'm talking about too, but yeah.
Yeah. It can happen.
Yeah. So like in that case, unless you're somebody who actually has your TV set up properly, you're not even going to notice it. But yeah, so that's the skinny on that, but they haven't addressed it yet. But considering the price keeps going down and down and down and down and down, that tells me that they're probably just going to do a replacement program like they did with it. Because this is just like Mad Max all over again. Because that one, the same thing.
Yeah.
That box price just went down and down and down. Then all of a sudden people are like, yeah, the new ones are out there now.
Yeah, that's I heard that it was pulled from the Best Buy websites and maybe even the stores. Possibly, no, probably not the stores.
They've
I think
been
it was
getting
just
the
website.
steelbooks.
So yeah, they've been getting the steelbooks.
And as far as I know, they all have the same problem because they're all the same run of discs. So yeah. As soon as we know more on that, we'll let you all know. Other than that, I don't think there was any other issues this week, which is a rarity. I know we normally have at least a dozen issues.
Yes, sir.
But did we actually get to announce the Superman animated features?
I think we announced it on my show last week, but I don't think we ever announced the actual like what the Blu-ray is going to be on this show because we rumored it like 2 weeks ago, but now we have confirmation of what it is.
Coming from a new 4K scan. So keep that in mind, kids. This is one I'm looking forward to. I'm curious if they'll be using the same scan for the Superman box set. I wish they'd tell us. So we have to know if we have to buy both or just one. But this will come out in May, so we'll know by then. So that's the beauty of it. So my guess, though, is that because I think they're only on the Blu-rays, I think it's just going to be the standard edition ones we had before. But looking forward to this one. I don't know about you guys, but yeah.
Yes, I'm definitely picking that up with my Superman 4Ks when they come out. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, this don't come out till May, though. Sadly.
Yeah, I know May, but you know what I mean. Actually, I might even get that for my birthday because my birthday's in May. So
it's gonna be a nice year for Warner, though, from what it looks like.
Yeah, but I mean, I always heard that Warner Brothers wasn't going to do any more physical media. So
I know, I heard that too.
Sucks.
I don't know, but of course we have the newer announcements, which I'm not even gonna get into. Looks like Resident Evil's getting a 4K box set.
That would only be good for the first movie. The first movie only.
Yeah, I was never a fan of this franchise at all.
Yeah.
What about you, Valliant? Were you ever a fan of the Resident Evil film?
The first one, yeah, I enjoyed it. I never really followed up with any of them after that. It seemed like it just got too overdone, and there was a few of them that were just kind of weird, and I just kind of got out of it.
You know what's funny is I didn't know there were 6 of these bastards.
Yeah,
I knew there was a bunch. I couldn't tell you how many there were. I knew it was a lot because they keep announcing them like every 2 years. The next Resident Evil movie. It's like, oh my god, how do they keep making these things?
Yeah, I know, right? Like it's just like I'm looking at this box and I'm going, they made 6 of these bastards.
No, they're making them. I mean, if you go in, I couldn't even tell you what the budget on the last one was, but it's probably not even 10 million. I don't know.
They made money, evidently.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the thing. Yeah.
There's enough there, maybe not at the theater, but there's enough there for when they then turn around and then license these things out to a Netflix or wherever they're playing. They're probably getting some physical media sales licensing off of it, and they're making enough for what they're spending to where they're happy. We'll keep making more, So, I mean, what do you do?
Yeah, that's same reason why they ended up trying to milk the Underworld movies. Where like the first 2 were great, then after that they just kind of you just got to stop making them.
Yep.
Yeah. But
I'd watch Kate Beckinsale. I don't care how many movies she's in.
It's true. Even the bad ones, I mean, she's still pretty smoking hot.
I think we grabbed this one last time, the Walmart exclusive Miami Vice Steelbook.
Miami box. What's that?
I don't know, but it's stanky and it's wet and it's muggy. I don't like it. It's the Florida box, the Miami Florida box. No, this is coming from Mill Creek as well. Who cares about that one? This is one.
Yes.
Ooh, and tonight.
Oh my god, I can't believe the money the Resident Evil movies made. I just looked it up.
Oh my god, I'm sure it was a lot. Because they did.
Resident Evil, the final chapter, December of 2016. This came out. It did 26 million in the U.S., but it did 314 million worldwide.
Wow.
Oh wow.
I'm looking at this. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I had no idea.
The Avatar of its time.
$40 million production budget on that one from 2016.
Right. That's why they kept making them.
Evidently. Yep. Sorry, I had to cough there. And then we had this one that got me excited.
Yeah, I'm very
announced
excited.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Now this is the original. So I can't wait to see that one.
And they just put out they put out the 70s one not too long ago on 4K. So
yes, they did.
Yeah.
You're next. You're next. You're next.
I love that movie.
Now this is one that's already gotten a 4K release. But what it didn't have was Dolby Vision. And a steelbook would be nice,
And then isn't it supposed to get one?
Sony's giving it a steelbook.
Oh.
And Dolby Vision. And while we're at it, why don't we throw on some of them there deleted scenes?
I liked that movie.
Yeah, it's good.
So that's coming again, even though it's already been out. It's a really great 4K. It's getting a little bit of an upgrade.
I'm glad
this is one.
Good.
Motherfucker. Who did this? Who?
Who?
They need to be fired. I know this is overseas. This is Studio Canal. But this is a big problem. This looks like donkey shit. Does this
like
even
Studio Canal water?
Does this even scream to you the 1970s Four Musketeer films at all?
No. Looks like modern day bad fan art.
I hope they didn't put as much DNR in the in the pressing of this as they did on these cover photos, because that looks bad.
Well, it would be one thing. Like I could understand if this came out like around, like, you know, when they do like remakes and reboots and all that stuff. I would understand if they had done this to make it look like the other Three Musketeers, but there's no incentive for that. That movie's way out of date. Like, people like these movies. There's a lot of people that now, these aren't ones that are asked for as much as like Avatar and Abyss. Don't get me wrong. These are movies that people enjoy. They wanted the the 3 and 4 Musketeers, and there's actually a third film that's already on Blu-ray, but in the US these haven't even been available on Blu-ray.
Seriously? No, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because I almost bought them. I got lucky. This is the one time in God knows how many times where I almost imported them because I was sick of waiting for them. And we got this announcement, and I'm like, oh, thank God, I don't have to buy them now on Blu-ray. I can wait. And then we saw these covers, and I'm just like, holy hell. But April's shaping up to be a pretty packed month, even though these are not US releases. Now this one will come up again here, so we'll come back to that. I don't know this one.
I do not either.
Heroic Trio and Executioners, both coming to 4K.
It's just a classic Michelle Yeoh movie that, hey, why not put it out right now while she's a hot
makes
item?
Sense. I didn't even notice it until you just said that. That was Michelle Yeoh right there.
Speaking of which, hot
she's
item.
in this one too. Yep. Oh wow, she's really young in this one. Holy shit.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I just realized I couldn't see. I hadn't seen the Executioner. So yeah, we're putting out Michelle Yeoh movies, and look, Michelle Yeoh in freaking Pierce Brosnan, James Bond. Man, that was classic hot Michelle Yeoh.
So yeah, a couple of Michelle Yeoh titles. Stricken, not scared. This is a newer one. This has got to be a newer one.
It's got to be.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Don't know it at all.
And then we got the Firm, an update on the Firm. This is what I know we rumored before, but now we have a date.
Well, hopefully that's not the cover art. Jesus.
Yeah, no, that's horrible.
Not too. You know what though? It probably fucking is.
Just use a picture of him running, man.
God.
Right. This is June 20th. Comes out from Paramount. I think I've seen this one.
Yeah,
I know it's a good one. I remember. Yeah,
it was a John Grisham
it all.
When all of his books were like super hot and everything was getting turned into movies. You had The Firm, you had Pelican Brief. What was the other big one? The first one that started it off.
Actually, wasn't it this one that kicked it off?
No, there was another one before. I think maybe that was the first one.
Otherwise, the only one I could think of is A Time to Kill and
Time to Kill. Yeah,
that was way late.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they deserve to die, and I hope they burn it out.
That was it.
Oh, the client was the person, with was it Susan Sarandon? Not Susan Sarandon. Is it?
Wasn't there one with Danny DeVito?
You're thinking of no, that was the Pelican Brief with Julia Roberts.
That was, and well, no, you're thinking of the Greg's thinking of the Rainmaker.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Danny DeVito and Matt Damon. Now that's
what I'm thinking of. Yeah,
Francis Ford Coppola directed that one too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he's got some good ones though. Yeah, The Client. I'm just trying to remember because this is the one where he's a lawyer, right?
Yeah,
and he gets part of this new firm, and he's the new hotshot lawyer, right?
Yep.
I remember just running. Yeah. That's what they like.
Just
that's
running.
The biggest thing I remember from the movie. It's like Tom Cruise is running with a briefcase.
That was The Firm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also loved
he's running over the bridge in Memphis doing that at the end.
Yeah, and The Client, that was a good one too. Yeah, that kid.
So you were right.
Susan Sarandon in it?
The Firm, Susan Sarandon was in that one. Tommy Lee Jones was in that one. So it went The Firm, Pelican Brief, The Client, Time to Kill, then Rainmaker, and then I think that was it.
Yeah, he's had a couple of them since then, but big ones. But awesome. So that one's kind of looking forward to that one. Hopefully they don't muck it up though. Season 2 of Chucky's coming this May. We got a steelbook there. I don't know if I'm gonna go with the steelbook, although I do kind of like the look of it. That's kind of neat. You get some pictures with it, but I just got the regular one of the first season. This is one that I got a thing in the mail for. This is the only one you can get through Disney for a limited time exclusive, I guess. 10 classic shorts in HD. I've been informed some of them might be edited though, so keep that in mind. We got Columbo, the entire series, coming to Blu-ray from Kino Lorber. I know some people will be excited about that. That's got to be a huge set. I wonder if it'll have all the movies and stuff. Yeah.
Like 87 seasons. Well, how long did that show go on?
It was on for, I believe it was 47 seasons, Valliant.
My dad used to, oh my God, he used to watch it all the time. It's like it never ended.
Well, it wasn't so much just the seasons. They had all the TV movies afterwards.
That's right.
A never-ending slew of TV movies. Yeah, that's what I was asking. I wonder if the TV movies are involved.
Like Perry Mason. You know, they had Perry Mason back in the day, and then they brought him back to do Perry Mason, like a whole slew of TV movies. Raymond Burr.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Yeah.
My dad.
I just found out he was gay.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Sorry, it was just out of the blue.
I didn't know that either. Did you hear about the Matlock reboot coming?
Oh no!
Wasn't it with chick?
Yeah, it's a Matlock reboot. It's the chick from Misery is playing Matlock.
Kathy Bates, that's right.
Kathy Bates. Yeah, and I heard that the writer, one of the writers of She-Hulk, is going to write the show. Yeah, she's going to be the showrunner.
Whoa. Yes. Okay, it's first of all, time out. Back it up.
Bad.
Yeah, it's going to be horrible.
If you'd have told me Kathy Bates is going to be in a remake or reboot of Murder, She Wrote,
yeah,
maybe you'd have something there.
Right. Except she didn't want to piss on Angela Lansbury's grave, so we'll,
she wants to piss on Andy Griffiths.
Yeah, she's going to be Matlock.
I'm sorry, but Matlock is Andy Griffith. That's all it was. It's like, I want to watch Andy Griffith as an old man.
That's really was, yeah. I just brought that up because like the Perry Mason movies were the people that wrote those wrote Matlock, created Matlock, so that's what I brought that up. And then in
turn, the people from She-Hulk are going to destroy it. So
it's going to be the people that don't even know how to write a courtroom drama are going to write a courtroom drama again.
This is an A24 film nobody gives a shit about. Why Tommy Lee Jones always looks like his wife.
Joe Buffett's comment. Sorry, since you brought it up.
No, it's fine. Where is it? He's gay. No wonder Raymond Burr killed his wife in Rear Window. Yeah, that's dark.
Oh God!
Knock on a Cabin comes out in May. Here's the cliffhanger steelbook in case anybody was curious. So it's basically the movie poster, which I'm fine with that. Although I did like the art that he had up here before. That was cool.
Yeah.
This was another one that has me curious because I've never actually got to see this movie, but I'm pretty sure I read the book in high school.
Oh man, it's been ages since I've watched that. Yeah. I have that on Laserdisc.
4K.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that one either. Oh, really?
Michael Crichton's story, if I remember right.
Yep. Nice. Yes, it was.
This is a Robert Weiss production. So Robert Weiss, of course, who you know from Star Trek: The Motion Picture, worked with Orson Welles. So yeah.
I mean, that was a big sci-fi movie back in the day. I mean, that was.
Yeah. They did a TV show of it too, didn't they?
Yeah, I think it was on TNT.
Like years later, but yeah.
Yeah.
Now, here's one that's got me very excited. This is one of my favorite Eastwood films.
Oh man,
it's one of my dad's favorites too. And it has a killer fucking soundtrack from Ennio Morricone. In fact, most of like the Django Unchained soundtrack, half of it is this movie soundtrack.
I haven't seen this one in years.
Two Mules for Sister Sarah is really good. Shirley MacLaine, Clint Eastwood. He's like a gunman who's traveling with what he thinks is a nun.
Yeah.
And it's one of those movies. It's a classic comedy western.
Yeah, this is one I always get confused with. Speaking of which, we talked about John Wayne and him once before on my thing, but I always get it confused with Rooster Cogburn because it's like It's sort of similar because he's like, isn't he like with a nun, Katharine Hepburn himself in that one, in Rooster Cogburn, the sequel to?
I don't know if she's a nun, but she's. Yeah, it's
it always get these two confused, and they're vastly different movies.
Yeah,
and I don't
Rooster
know why.
Cogburn is a shit movie compared.
Yeah,
to this.
it's bad. Yeah, but this is a good one. Yeah. I remember parts of this one. It's
actually
funny.
I kind of enjoyed the newer remake of True Grit more than I did the original Rooster Cogburn.
I see your point, Valliant. I see it as two very different animals, though. And again, I'm not going to get into this debate because, like, the newer version is kind of obviously probably closer to the book, I'd imagine. And the original one is just kind of like
Bridges.
Yeah,
that's Jeff Bridges. Yeah,
and I don't hate Rooster Cogburn, but that's one of those movies that has like a history to it that is like one of the most famous flops and worst movies of John Wayne's career. So it's not nearly as bad as some of the crap, but yeah. Then we got Shazam, Steelbook, nobody cares. Here's the Disney. Oh, did you want to talk about the Disney news? You did bring this up, Valliant.
About
Disney finally getting back into physical media, because I thought you brought that up in the comments.
Well, I reposted the thing that Bill Hunt had shared the video.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know if you wanted to talk about the whole thing as a general, because Iger has got his thumb out of his butt, and he's realized, maybe we should release some movies on Blu-ray and DVD.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I did bring this up. I guess earlier in the week on something, but yeah, no, you're right. This is obviously something had to go here. There's certainly plenty of room out there in the marketplace to do good physical media re-releases, because there's going to be some titles you can't just throw everything onto your proprietary streaming platform and expect it to work. It's just like Netflix. Everybody has tons of stuff. Warner Brothers has tons of stuff. Zaslav's talked about this. It's sitting there doing nothing. So you have to do something with it. Otherwise, the value of that huge library is worthless. So you've either got to reinvigorate interest in it by re-releasing it as a limited physical media release, like you've talked about before, Tom. Bring back the vault, Disney. Exactly. Yes. Bring back the vault. I mean, why? That was one of the most brilliant things, frankly, that Eisner ever came up with. It created a very limited a very limited supply and high market demand, and it was great. Now they're going to try to do it again, and we saw, if I can go into this, Bill Hunt, who posted on Twitter today, he had caught John Landau at an event.
Yeah, we'll bump ahead to that since you just brought it up.
Yeah. And
don't pay attention to anything on the screen until we get there, guys.
Because I've got to leave in about 10 minutes anyway.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So he caught. There it is, John Landau, and we'll just play it.
Can I ask? Jim has talked recently during the press tour for Avatar 2 about future physical releases of the original Avatar and the Abyss and True Lies, Titanic, which I know Abyss in particular and True Lies have been kind of a long journey to get to Blu-ray and 4K.
2023, baby.
Is that's happening this year?
I would bet it would be.
Outstanding. And the original Avatar as well?
I would bet it would be.
And Titanic. Titanic has obviously had an end. Oh, that's good news.
It would be.
Thank you, sir. Much appreciated.
Yeah, Titanic we already knew about.
Well,
I don't know if Disney
very good news.
I don't know if Disney wants me to say anything yet, but what are they going to do to me?
Yeah, no. Bill's been saying this shit for a while. We've been saying this stuff for a while. But yeah, for those who've been asking, because The Abyss and True Lies are two of the most requested titles we have on the show. Bill's been asked about them for years.
Yeah, and we finally gotten the confirmation here. I mean, this is it. You can take all of the speculation and rumor aspect, even though, like Tom said, we know it's coming. We've heard too much about it. Now it is about as much from the horse's mouth that you can possibly get. Absolutely, it is happening. Titanic, Avatar, True Lies, and The Abyss, all this year, 2023. It's happening.
Nice. Look forward to those, especially True Lies. I've been waiting for that one for a while.
Yeah, I'm The Abyss and True Lies. That's what I want. Yeah. And then at some point, I know there's different issues with that movie that I'm about to mention, because everybody's going to keep asking. Aliens, the second one. There's no word on that, folks. So
yeah, I think it's going to be a bit.
Yeah, we're gonna be a bit before we get that out of Cameron and Disney and whatever wonky
He's
thing.
He's got some other blue people movies to finish.
Yes, he does.
The beauty of it, though, is a lot of his movies have now been conglomerated under Disney, basically all of his Fox titles, which is who he worked through most of the years aside from.
Yeah, T2 too, Chad. I see y'all out there. Yeah.
Yeah, T2 is like one of the outliers. I don't expect him to get back to T2 anytime soon.
Yeah,
we're a few years away. It'll be another thing like, T2 and Aliens he'll put out in the same year and everybody will lose their crap. That's kind of that's probably what's going to happen. So,
well, because T2 was at 91.
No, I was going to say we're going to see it on the 35th anniversary.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say because T2 was 91, I think, and
so that's 2026.
And then that would also be the anniversary of Aliens, 86. So
86. Yep, the 40th anniversary of Aliens. So there you go. You might be looking at 3 years from now.
My guess is he'll end up making them all high frame rate.
Oh, shut up!
I hope to God not.
Shut your damn mouth!
Don't put that evil out in the world.
He already did with Titanic.
He did, sadly. But I ain't worried about Titanic.
Yeah, Jonas, that copy of T2 on 4K is poo because it's not really 4K. It's not really 4K. It's a crap. It's an upconvert from
No. It is actually a 4K, but it has so much DNR applied to it. Everything looks like plastic.
Oh, that's right. That's the one I'm thinking.
Because it is the 4K scan they did for the 3D version. But it still had all the DNR applied to it for the 3D version, and they never took it off for the main version.
Yeah, it was a hot mess.
Yeah, that's the case there. So, yeah, and then they re-released it again and told everybody it was a new printing. That wasn't true.
They printed a new cover.
What they did is, I believe, they put the special features that weren't on it before on it because I had the import, and Greg knows because I got pissed.
Yeah.
Because I bought it for nothing other than the steelbook cover, basically. Because I had the import version, because that's the only way you could get the 3D version. Yeah. That one had the alternate disc in it that we didn't have in the US, where it actually had the special features on it. So that's all that was new. So they technically did reprint the disc. It was a new pressing, but it wasn't a new scan.
Yeah.
So anyway, how many more minutes you got here, Valliant, before we get running?
I got to step out in about, the next 3 to 5 minutes here.
All right. Well, we'll go through a few of these real quick. Wicker Man. This is the original one.
The bees. Oh, no.
From Studio Canal. Yeah, not the bees.
Not the bees. The bees.
This is the 73 film in 4K, as it should be. Dante's Peak. Probably the better of the two volcano films that year, believe it or not, in my opinion.
Yeah. I
he really
that
peaked.
movie.
Yeah.
That's Dante's Peak, man. He really peaked there.
Pierce
That's a bad joke.
Yeah,
we
got it.
Yeah, it doesn't have a studio, but it says shh. I wonder what he means by that, because I think this is a Paramount film, if I remember right. Oh, no, it's Universal.
Yeah.
So probably Kino Lorber. Kino Lorber or Arrow, I bet. And this is one, finally, because I have this in 4K, kids.
I was about to say, I think I have this in 4K. All right.
I have the import. It got him. Germany put it out like a year and a half, 2 years ago. It's been ready for release for a while. So finally, we got another.
Take it back.
Here.
I've only got it on Blu-ray. I just remembered.
Yeah, they did do. Yeah. Here's what you probably have, Valliant. They did. Do you have the Criterion Collection Blu-ray? It just come out here not too long ago, because that's from a 4K scan.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm thinking. No, I think I just have one of the older Blu-rays. I don't think I have that.
And on that note, I think I don't think it's going to be Criterion this time. I think it's going to be Arrow or Kino Lorber, I bet.
Oh yeah, it's another great movie that is incredibly deserving of a proper restoration and remastering in 4K.
Yes.
I'm trying to remember. I think the 4K I have looks pretty good. I think it's from the negative, so it looks pretty good. So yeah.
It's about time though, for real, that they got it on 4K.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll imagine that's going to be later in the year. The Rules of the Game. This is one I'm not too familiar with, but it's from 1939. That one's coming from Criterion.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
Insidious is coming to 4K in June.
I don't know why they don't have the whole collection coming at the same time. They've got the new well, the reason they're doing that is because Insidious 5 comes out around the same time.
Well, has it already been released in 4K? That might just be a steelbook release. Let me look here.
I gotta go back. I don't.
That looks like a steelbook. Yeah.
I don't think
Yeah.
it has been recent. I don't think so.
Every Insidious film I have is Blu-ray.
No, that's from 2010, so you're probably right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is maybe they're doing a Steelbook box set or something, or just one by one. Then we got Daylight, another This is a Universal Studios one, so probably Kino or something like that, I'd imagine.
I loved that movie too.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
This was one of the last Stallone films, if I remember right, that made any money at the box office for a while, wasn't it?
Daylight and Demolition Man, I think, was the next year, and that was it.
Yeah, because then he was on his downturn after that for a while.
Yeah. But, this last movie he did with his son, too, I think.
I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
And no care. The Last of Us is actually released. Jesus Revolution. This is another one that I like. I was glad to see. Joe Kidd from Clint Eastwood. So we got some Clint Eastwood coming in 4K. Looking forward to that. We got the remake of The Italian Job coming to 4K. We got the original one this last year. Now we've got the original coming from Paramount in May.
Yeah, I didn't hate
this movie. Yeah, I didn't hate it either.
I didn't hate it. It's got some good fun to it, and Edward Norton chews it up as the bad guy. It's pretty good.
I can't remember now. Did this movie simply exist to promote the Mini Cooper? Did they the Mini Cooper to go along with this movie?
Oh my god, yeah.
It's like every one of them just driving.
I remember they brought back the Mini Cooper, and it was like, because that was the whole thing in the original film. They used the original Mini cars.
Yeah.
And I can't remember now when this movie came out, because I know they did a big deal about in tandem with the two, but yeah.
Yeah, 2003. So
reminds me when they brought back the Bug, and everybody was like driving a punch bug or whatever those are called.
They were basically like the British version of those.
Yeah. VW, yeah. I know. All right, gentlemen, I got to run.
All right.
Sorry.
Take care, Valliant. We love to have you. No worries, man. I was sorry I was late. So
and I would
don't go nowhere, kids. We still got some more stuff to go.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen it yet, out there in the chat, Dragonheart was wonderful. The remaster they did in 4K of that was really pretty. My son had never seen it before, and you got to watch it for the first time. Loved it. And
too bad the CGI doesn't hold up nearly as well as Dennis Quaid's accent, but yeah.
Well, I tell you what, looking back on it for stuff that was put together between 94 and 96, it really still looks pretty good to me.
The story still holds up, though. That's the main thing. Yeah.
When you have David Thewlis and Pete Postlethwaite, and you've got Dennis Quaid doing his thing, and you've got such a tremendous cast in there. Of course, Sean Connery playing Draco. But it's like how you can't go wrong with that. So, in any case, good to see y'all. Y'all stick around, and I will see y'all later.
See you later, Valliant.
Take care. And on that note, Jonas points out that I've always heard the Mini Cooper tie-ins came after the movie was in production. That could be, but I don't have confirmation on that. That would make sense.
Yeah.
Then we got War Monkey, who's become a member. Thank you so much, War Monkey. Then we got Cannon Fellow Arrow, who says, finally, thumbs up eventually. Sorry about that, Ken. I fucked up the time, and then everything was all screwy. Then we got Philo Beto, who says, hello, chaps. New to the show. Love your work. Sorry, random question. Will we ever see them Meet the Applegates? Only ever released on VHS, and it's a crime. No such thing as a random question on 4K for you. Unfortunately, I don't have an answer for you on this one. Now, if I remember right, I believe, wasn't this an HBO movie? Like, I know it was in theaters, but I think HBO owned the distribution.
I think it is one of them, yeah. That's where they're roaches, right? A family of roaches. Is that
yes, I think like the alien roach people.
Like the giant roach people. Yeah, I believe that might have been an HBO Max movie, and I remember reading that.
Like they distributed it, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what am I thinking of?
I know there's like
Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. Mom and Dad Save the World. That's what I was trying to think.
Yeah. I would like a Blu-ray
theatrical movies.
Yeah, I would like a Blu-ray of that. That's one of them bad cheesy sci-fi B movies I like. So yeah, I'd be down for that. Hopefully one day.
Yeah, my guess would, if it's not that, it is got to be some kind of rights issue, more or less. New World Film Pictures. Okay. Well, then that would be under, I'm surprised they haven't released that then, unless there's got to be some issue with it. Because that would be Vestron.
It's got to be. Maybe they're gonna. Maybe eventually we'll get a Vestron Lionsgate release of it.
That's what I was just thinking.
I mean, they are supposed to be putting on Repossessed, so that could be coming. That could be coming eventually.
I'm trying to look up here some info on it. Yeah, New World. That's all that's listed. So yeah,
that's what I was looking up.
Yeah, that would be under Vestron.
So I wouldn't say never say never. It could very well happen.
Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't got to it yet. Actually, to be honest with you. So I wouldn't count that one out. It's just surprising that it hasn't hit disc yet. But a lot of these ones that we're getting from the Vestron group titles are a lot of those films that never really got much love for years.
Yeah.
So like Earth Girls Are Easier was one that we had talked about before we finally got the Blu-ray here recently, and we're like, God, that thing needs to be remastered so badly, and finally we got it. It's not the greatest, but it's okay.
I mean, I love the Dentist movies, man. Those were great. That was a great Blu-ray set.
Yeah. And then speaking of Mark Wahlberg, we're finally getting Shooter in a regular standard form. This has been on a Steelbook version for what, 2-3 years now? You've been able to get it?
And it was only available at Best Buy, I believe.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So now everybody can own it. I've never seen it, so I can't really talk on it.
Somebody's informing that for some reason Meet the Applegates is now owned by the Walt Disney Company. I have no idea if that's just a joke or if that's I have no idea.
Really hope not. That's why I did my video on today, the Encino Man, which needs a Blu-ray release, and now would be
that
perfect.
One I can't believe. Well, here's the thing, and I noticed that, Greg, and I said that on your thing. They have not done not one of Pauly Shore's Disney movies in the Disney movie collection at all. And I understand them not releasing it as a Blu-ray, but they have, and this is the only reason I'm in the Disney Movie Club. For those who may not know, we brought this up before, but for some newcomers here, because I know we have some new faces, and that's awesome. Disney Movie Club, if you get in there, they have a whole slew of Blu-rays that you cannot get in stores.
Yeah.
And I cannot believe that they have not done one for Encino Man, In the Army Now, or Son-in-Law yet.
Like Son-in-Law and Encino Man scream Blu-rays. They could be making tons of money on those two. Those got to be like, I know
Pauly Shore is not popular now.
Yeah.
But in the 90s, those 3 movies were huge hits for Disney. They were such huge hits that they were talking about making Encino Man and Son-in-Law 2 for the longest time. But Pauly Shore's career didn't last that long.
Burned bright and fast.
It did. But I can't believe it. We have all the Mighty Ducks films through there. We have, they finally released the Black Cauldron recently through there. We have the Apple Dumpling Gang movies through there. We even finally got the Gnome Mobile through there. But we have yet to get Son-in-Law, In the Army Now, or Encino Man. And In the Army Now doesn't make any sense because, believe it or not, I think that's his highest grossing of the 3. If I'm not mistaken. Or Son-in-Law. It's one of the two. One of the two. I think it might be Son-in-Law, actually. But yeah.
It was like the height of his popularity right there. I mean,
and they made bank. Yeah.
Yeah. They did. Believe it or not. I know people think Pauly Shore is a joke now, but Pauly Shore was huge in the 90s. I mean, he like banked money there for a little while. And then it just yeah.
Well, and this was the motivation for your video here, right?
Yeah. And Ki-Hu Kwan and Brendan Fraser are both in it.
Yeah, there's like a semi-Goonies reunion in that film.
Yeah, Sean Astin. It's like, you could, like, somebody mentioned in my comments, is like, you could put the big old prestigious, like, Oscar winners, Brendan Fraser and Ki-Hu Kwan, and Oscar nominee Sean Astin, and Encino Man. You can put that on the box. Big, like, prestigious, like, pretentious type thing.
Biodome was actually MGM. Jury Duty was Sony. Jury Duty's actually got a Blu-ray release. I think Biodome does too.
Figures that, like, I mean, nothing against him, but they're probably the weakest.
That's how big he was. When other studios started picking up his scraps, those movies still technically made money. But remember, right, Jury Duty was the first one to actually flop.
Yeah. Which is crazy. I mean, but like I said, he just burned fast and bright, and then it just...
Yeah. One of these days, maybe we'll talk to Pauly. He's on YouTube and shit.
That'd be awesome.
Know people who kind of know him. So we'll see. Maybe. Last of the Mohicans is getting a steelbook, but as far as I know, it's no upgrade on the disc itself. So don't get your hopes up. Although he does have 4K Ultra listed here. I don't see it anywhere on the thing here, and he doesn't say it up here, so I'm not going to get my hopes up on this being although this movie does need a 4K scan. Big time. It would be nice to have one. Scream 6, nobody cares. This, even though it's kind of unrelated, this made me chuckle. Because as much as I'm not a fan of Pedro, this is truly a meme. This is a meme that creates itself in the ether.
Pretty much, yeah. Sad, but it's true. I mean, I don't like him, but still, yeah. Sad but true.
And then 65 is coming in May. That sucks. That bombed. I did watch this last night.
And
it's already on video on demand, and it was better than I thought it was going to be. Maybe because people were kind of crapping on it, but oh yeah, sure, it has its issues. It could have been a hell of a lot funnier. But I think, have you seen it, Greg?
No, I've not. But I'm glad to know that it's on digital now. I can try to watch it.
I think you'll dig it. You'll see it for what it is, for what I did too, and that is that they're just trying to be one of those, 70s animals gone wild in the wake of Jaws films, right?
Yeah, that's what I kind of get the vibes watching.
They should have had more fun with that, though.
Probably need a better skilled director, as you guys pointed out.
A better director and another rewrite would have fixed the film. Otherwise, I had a lot more fun with it than I thought I would. See, honestly, I didn't have any issues with the bear stuff. To me, the bear stuff was the best stuff. And I don't know where somebody said that there wasn't that much of the bear in it. They're full of shit. Whoever said that. I'll tell you right now, this bear does a line right off a fucking dude's calf. Like the body goes and the pieces fall down, and there's the piece of the guy's leg there, and the bear comes up and does a line right off the calf, man.
That sounds awesome.
I didn't think it dragged like some people did, because I'm used to these kind of movies. Like, I know, like, you spend the first half hour, 45 minutes of these movies usually setting up all your ancillary characters. No, this movie gets started right off the bat, man. It don't wait. I mean, there's some of that setup in there, but to me, I didn't feel like there was any dragging on in between the bear scenes. I mean, there were some things I could have seen them tightening up here and there story-wise. And I do see where some people are like saying that Ray Liotta's in a completely different movie than everybody else. He's
that makes it even
way
more
too seriously in a weird way, but like, yeah. No, I thought the movie was fine. There's just some of it, like, you see it as like missed opportunities, right? You're just kind of like, you could have really, really had some fun with this.
Yeah. Just needed just a little bit of better people behind the camera.
I think the sequel will be more surprising, because I guarantee you'll probably get a sequel out of it at some point.
Yeah.
And if they get somebody behind the camera and on the script, I think it could be interesting. So,
nice.
Nice. You could send the Cubs to Chicago to be the only place that you'd be afraid of the Cubs. Cocaine Cubs.
Cocaine Cubs.
I'm giving too much away. It's a fun movie, though. This is another one I was kind of excited to see. The original Nutty Professor is getting a 4K release and also a big shh on the studio. This is a Paramount release. I'm thinking this is going to be one of the Studio Canal Paramount titles, because I think, didn't we get this one rumored a while back now?
I think so, and it definitely screams Studio Canal type thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. I like the original Nutty Professor. It's a great movie. Jerry Lewis is.
Studio Canal has everything. I'll tell you what. I had another one of those moments.
But they always do the yellow wash. But go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no, sorry. I was gonna say I was gonna watch a movie I hadn't opened yet, and I just got it, and then I didn't know that Kino Lorber had done a version of it. And theirs is a 4K scan. So fuck that! I'm sending this back and get the Kino version. What the hell?
There you go.
I'll bring it up later. But anyway, you were saying about the yellow wash. Yeah,
like the Studio Canal does have a lot of yellow wash on some of them.
I think that's Paramount though that does that. Honestly,
it was on your.
Go ahead.
Yeah, wasn't it on your Cat's Eye? It was, they did Studio Canal, and it kind of like
Studio Canal
made things green and where it's not supposed to be green.
I seen a little bit of that green shit show up in Rocky 2, Rocky 1 or 2. But it wasn't as bad as Cat's Eye. No, Cat's Eye is horrible. Whoever did that fucked that up.
I believe that's Studio Canal.
Fuck up. Yep. Paramount, though, they've had that too sometimes.
Yeah, but Paramount is sometimes. I mean, like as long as they're working with Tarantino, his movies turn out great. If they're working with other people, they DNRs and all messed up and just
I heard some things about Paramount to where we might start to be getting some better.
Well, that's good news.
Stuff going forward, because I guess they actually re-upped their efforts to restore films over at Paramount. I guess I was hearing so.
Well, that's good news. Now I wish they would fix planes, trains, and automobiles.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've caught up on all these. What else did you have first, Greg? That wasn't.
I think you just went through. Oh no. Full Moon is releasing Netherworld on Blu-ray, coming soon. I don't think I've seen that one, but let me find it in my things here. If I can go back.
I know what it is, but I don't know if I've ever seen it.
Yeah, it's from '92.
Is it going to be just a standard Blu-ray or 4K?
It's going to be a standard Blu-ray from Full Moon, uncut and remastered from the original camera negative. Is at least what they say.
That's what all of his say.
It's Full Moon, so that's what they all say.
They all say that.
Yeah, so that's coming. Project Alf. Go ahead.
Oh yes, Jesus! I can't believe I totally forgot about that. Project Elf. Finally, we got something out of Shout Factory with this Elf deal.
It's not Shout Factory.
Who's releasing this?
This is bad news. I was wanting to make sure. I didn't know if you knew this, but it's bad news. Nope. It's the same people that did the RoboCop TV series, Liberation Hall.
They're full of shit. It is not going to be an HD.
Yeah,
how did they get this?
I do not know, but it's supposedly April or March. No, not for June 13th. Liberation Hall, who did the RoboCop series. Yeah, they're doing Project Alf.
That had to be separate from the original shit then, because Shout Factory just got all the Elf stuff last year.
Yeah, I think it was the TV movie that came later, so I think there's different rights issues there.
I guess so. I mean, I know it was on ABC and not NBC, but I figured the same. I know all the same people were behind it.
Yeah,
it was technically a backdoor pilot to a new
Alf movie, a show. Yeah,
yeah. I'm worried about that now. That means it's just going to be a shitty, not even HD. They'll say it's HD.
I was wanting to tell you that because I didn't know if you knew. So. Yeah, I wanted to make sure you knew that because I didn't know if you knew it, because I saw that and I was like, oh, that's the same people that did RoboCop. Oh, Tom's not going to like that.
Now I'm afraid that they're going to say it's a Blu-ray HD, because that was shot on film. They could have done it in fucking Blu-ray and HD. Damn it.
Yeah. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news for that.
Unlike the TV show, which I'm pretty sure is forever stuck in video, because I think 90% of it was shot on video, if I'm not mistaken.
They're Cocaine Alf, though. But
I'm gonna bite your fucking face off. Say hello to my little friend.
I mean, it's not far from the truth.
Oh Lord, God damn it, that pisses me off now. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure you knew that, because it sucks.
At least it pre-warns me.
Yep. Me. Yeah.
Speaking of that, did you have any more other?
I have one more Kino title, sure. Death Machine from 1994, starring Brad Dourif, is getting a brand new HD master on 2K from Kino Lorber. So that's about it. Everything else we covered.
Yes, we did. It looks like Subspecies Subspecies 5 is also coming out.
Yes, Subspecies 5.
That's a new film though. I want the original Subspecies films on Blu-ray, but I'm kind of holding out for the 4K, because I tell you, there was I'll talk about it more tonight, but there is a bit of an upgrade to the Puppet Master 3.
That's nice.
Well, it's an older scan, clearly, because that's what he did. They scanned all the negatives. It says it on the back of the Blu-ray. But whatever they did back in the day to process the Blu-ray compared to this 4K looks 10 times better than what they did for transfers. So. Yeah.
Well, I know you can get the first 3 Subspecies on Blu-ray on Full Moon. They don't have Port 4 on Blu-ray at all. And
I'm waiting at least for like a 4K of the first one.
Yeah, that would be nice of the first one. I'm hearing good things about Part 5. Part 5 actually looks decent. It doesn't look like a cheap Full Moon movie. Which
I just got the Dr. Death in the mail today too, and you said that one was pretty good.
Yeah. Now you know me though. You know I like cheesy bad movies. So it's.
I know what you mean. Like
yeah. I know. I enjoyed it though. I did enjoy it.
I like rubber monsters and killer creatures and puppets and all that stuff. So I'll probably enjoy it. But I just got that in the mail today, so I'll have to check that out. When I get a chance. But no, I don't expect to be blown away by Puppet Master 3. No, it's not the greatest looking 4K Blu-ray you ever saw, but it looks 10 times better than the old Blu-ray does. At least the colors are rich. There's no compression. You can tell it's a little bit older scan. Clearly the negative's in rough shape. But it's hard to say with how these things were stored and trucked around and treated over the years, knowing Charlie Band. So, and that's the thing. Believe it or not, the Puppet Master movies were some of the first movies ever scanned in HD. Most people don't realize this. Because I had one of the, before, because DirecTV bought them out, but before they had HD on DirecTV or Dish Network, there was a satellite service called Voom. That was the first HD satellite service.
I think I remember that.
They had their own movie channel, and on that channel, they didn't have many movies, but they did have the first 5 Puppet Master movies. And I have because I recorded it on my computer, it was downgraded to 480p, but from those HD scans, I used to have my own masters. That's why I never bought them for years.
Yeah.
Because the ones I had were better than the ones that were on the DVDs.
Nice.
Well, then finally they did them in HD. And honestly, I don't think they did as good a job as HDNet did, to be honest with you, but I haven't seen the original full-fledged resolution on them. So, yeah. And I know they're different scans because there's a little piece that was different from the actual one that we get on the full moon version.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of narration over the very beginning that is not on any other version I've ever had. I'm gonna have to dig it out and I'll show you one day. It's really stupid, but it's Paul Lamette saying something about Bodega Bay Inn.
Huh.
It's right over the beginning of the thing that's not in any other version I've ever seen before.
Yeah, then they had to have gone back.
And he's like 30 years later at Bodega Bay Inn. And it's like really weird because it's like, where the fuck did that come from? And you can tell it's Paul Lamette saying it.
Yeah.
So it must have been on the original print and they just never carried it over or something. I have no idea.
Huh.
Or the soundtrack they had or whatever that was different from the other versions or what. But, because I mean, these scans would have been done almost 20 fucking years ago.
Well, they probably had like one of the best scans of the movie then back then. With like you find those little bits that you never knew existed before. So that's interesting. That's pretty cool.
No, they didn't have much for movies at that time though. Like it was really slim pickings.
Yeah.
And I think that may have spawned into HDNet. You could be right.
Yeah, access.
Okay, that might be where what it became eventually, but yeah, it was just a little satellite company, and they snafu'd their launch big time. I ended up getting like $500 worth of service for like half price because they fucked it up so bad.
Oh, this sucks.
But my dad had us cancel it, and it was only just because he couldn't get all his sports like they promised us he could.
Yeah, them satellite companies, they like to lie a lot about those packages. Especially the ones that just shot up around Dish Network and DirecTV. Those weren't always the greatest ones to go to.
Yeah, but since I pretty much talked about Puppet Master 3, did you watch anything in 4K this week that you wanted to bring up?
I did. I watched 2 4K movies this week, and I'll bring them up tonight. But I watched Texas Chainsaw 2 on 4K.
Oh, you finally got the 4K?
Yeah, I finally got it. Oh, dude, it was awesome.
Looks good,
though. It was beautiful, and I watched it twice. I had so much fun with the second movie oh man, it's I forgot how good that was.
Well, that's what I was saying too. Is like, yeah, the first movie's good, but it's a slog to get through after the first few times you've seen it. It's like, because you know what's going to happen, and it's very dark and dour in a way, and it attacks your senses. The second film is just that; it's just fun.
Oh, it is so fun.
It doesn't pretend to be anything but.
I mean, Caroline Williams is smoking hot. The whole family together. Freaking Bill Moseley as I can't even think of his name at the moment. Chop Top. It's like how dumb was I? I watched it twice. Can't even.
You fucked up my son.
Music is my life. I love it. His introduction is just like so freaking amazing. It's just, oh man, and Dennis Hopper was such a badass in that movie. I am the Lord of the Harvest. It's just, I loved it. I had to watch it twice. It was so, don't get me wrong. I think the first one is the best of the movies, but I think part 2 has got the most rewatchability of the movies. Exactly. And I just watched part 3 too. So, it's miles ahead of part 3, miles ahead. And I loved it, man. It was, and the Vinegar Syndrome. I love the little box set they gave me. It's amazing. Like I'll bring it out, talk more about it tonight because I've been on the Texas Chainsaw Massacre kick since I watched the first one. So yeah. But yeah,
no, I loved it. It was a great release. I didn't even get a chance to go through all the special features. There's so many.
I know. I watched 2 of them, and then I couldn't get through them all. It's a lot.
I think I managed to get through them all, except for the commentaries. But
yeah. But it was a fun watch. I just like I said, I just forgot how fun of a movie that is, and just. I mean, even Leatherface, like I always think Gunnar Hansen's the best Leatherface, but this guy, I mean, he had something there that was it was fun. And oh man, it was just.
I can't believe it took me all those years to realize that was their brother.
Yeah, me too.
I can't believe it took all these years to figure that out.
And after you pointed that out to me, I was like, oh yeah, especially when he pulls out the grenade when he's looking for, and because he had the grenade in the van in the first movie, and he pulls the pin and shows them, or like he was going to pretend to pull the pin, and that's when it clicked in my head. I was like, oh yeah, that's the guy from the first movie, his twin brother. Because even like Chop Top had the little mark on his face too, just like him.
Yeah, so. And then that was the whole thing. Is the backstory is he was in Vietnam during the first film.
Yeah. Non-flashback.
Yeah. Because he's like Bill said, he's like, I got this whole backstory in my head of this guy who's just enjoying being in Vietnam, killing, and you know, it was like a second home to him, and you know.
It was great. And I was watching that with Caroline Williams, and she said she expected the crazy to come from Dennis Hopper, and it came from him. Bill Moseley brought the crazy. Dennis Hopper she said he was great. He was like, took everything serious, and he had 18 months of sobriety. So he was like he was game. I was going to say,
this is one of his first sober roles. Yeah.
Yeah. She said him and her had 18 months of sobriety. They were both clean and sober for 18 months when they did the movie. So they really bonded them there. And he was just like, she said he was like Nicolas Cage. Didn't matter how big or small the role was. He took everything serious and did his job. But Bill Moseley was the one that brought the crazy on the set. So I could say, yeah, I get that.
All right. Well, we'll talk a little bit more about that later on Greg's channel. In fact, I'll share the link here now. So you guys can park up there for later on tonight. In about an hour, give or take from now, we'll be going live there to talk about what we watched this last week.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Of course, Puppet Master will come up along with some other stuff.
Yeah.
So come on over, come on in, and we'll tell you all about it. But until then, I see you guys brought up Near Dark, but I didn't see, too much other questions that we could really assess for you guys. But
Near Dark's been rumored for a while.
As I say, Near Dark's been one that we've heard about. So I won't be surprised if that's coming.
Studio Canal, by the way.
Yeah. Didn't Shout release that here in the U.S.?
No, I don't think it's ever actually had a boutique label release. I think it had a regular old Blu-ray release, and it's OOP now, and it's a lot of money if you can find it. I think some foreign company released a media book of it at one point, but I think that's it. I think that's the only releases they have. I don't think Shout ever released it. So, but I was
thinking of another movie. I'm thinking of the Clive Barker one.
Oh, Lord of Illusions?
No.
That needs a Blu-ray. I think it does have one, but
Nightbreed. That's
what Nightbreed. Yeah, Nightbreed was done by Shout. Yeah. They have the director's cut. Yeah. Like 3 hours or something.
Yeah, I don't know. I have it, but I have not seen it since I was like a wee lad.
It was all right.
I have the Shout Factory one,
Yeah.
Puppet Masters are the gateway drug to Trancers and Doll Man. Funnily enough, Trancers came out first.
I love Trancers, but I've heard the 4K, like you said, sucks. So
I don't know what the hell they did. It is noisy as fuck, and it just looks like garbage. And again, like I said, people don't expect to get blown away by Puppet Master 3. But it does look a lot better than the old Blu-ray. That's for sure.
Yeah. But that'll be fun.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys here in about an hour or so. And with that, take care of yourselves and each other. Check out Valliant's channel and, of course, Greg's channel. And Any other videos you got coming up or anything you want to plug real quick before we go?
I actually recorded a Talking Scream, speaking of which. I recorded with Michelle from Force of Light. We talked Scream. That'll be out Friday. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Right.
She became a fan, and I was like, you want to talk? And she's like, yes. So we talked about it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, see you guys on the flip side. Take care of yourselves and each other.
Peace.